so I don't know who needs to hear this, but if your New Year's resolution is to start going to the gym, don't bother. Just don't bother. Or similarly, if your New Year's resolution is to rejoin the gym or, start going to the gym again, don't bother. Like, literally, don't bother. Like, if you really wanted to do it, you would have done it a long time ago. The fact that you haven't done it by now, you don't really want to do it. And you know what? That's fine. That is fine, because the truth is you don't really need to go to the gym. Like, if the goal is to be healthy, you don't need the gym at all. Like, a lot of times you can improve your health by just adjusting your diet. Like looking at the things that you eat, and maybe you're eating too much of something, you need to reduce that down a bit. Maybe you're not eating enough of another thing, you need to bring that up a bit. Maybe you just need a better balance in what you eat, how much you eat, and things like that. So you can improve your health by just adjusting what you eat. You can also improve your health by just increasing your activity, and that doesn't necessarily mean going to the gym. It doesn't necessarily even mean going for long 10-mile runs or whatever. Like, you can increase your activity by doing simple things like walking, or if whatever parts of your body you're able to move. If you not everybody can walk, I understand, but whatever part of your body you're able to move that more. You could increase your activity by just doing simple things like that, or just doing things like around the house. Like, if you've got a dirty house, clean your house. That increases your activity, and now you got a clean house. Or doing the shopping, or doing the gardening, or things like that. Just things that you can do in your normal day-to-day life that would increase your activity, adjust your diet a little bit, and you can increase your health that way. You don't ever need to step foot inside a gym. You don't need to do no long runs. You don't need to do no extreme, intense workouts and Power Man 5,000, whatever this is called. You know what I mean? You don't need to do none of that. Right, you don't need to do none of that at all. You could just do simple things, increase your activity, increase your movement, adjust your diets a little bit, and then your health kind of falls in line once you do all that stuff. The gym is unnecessary. And I think, like, for those of us who have been to the gym and then stopped going, I feel like we know that on some level. Right? There's some subconscious level that tells us that the reason why we're stopping, maybe we don't fully recognize it when it's happening, but I feel like the reason we stop is that on some subconscious level we just realize that it's pointless. And I don't believe the gym is pointless for everybody. I mean, I think there's definitely a lot of use you can get out of going to the gym, and there are definitely people who get a lot of use out of it. But I think for the vast majority of us, and maybe even a lot of people who even still go to the gym, it's kind of pointless. Like, when you think about, okay, let's say you want to go to the gym and lift weights, right? That's what a lot of people do, especially a lot of us guys. We go to the gym and we lift weights because we see like the WWE wrestlers. We're like, yeah, I want to get big muscles and things like that. We go to the gym, we start lifting weights. But the reality is that we don't really need to be that strong. Like, I mean, outside of, okay, well, the girls think you're sexy or whatever, or the girls think you're looking good, and people start paying you compliments and looking at you a bit more. Outside of the superficial stuff, like, there's no real use for it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you can train your body to get really strong, to lift up 100 kilograms, right? You could do that. And then what happens next? Like, how many times in your normal life are you going to lift up 100 kilograms? Like, you're probably not doing that very often. Like, a piano weighs 100 kilograms. Like, how many times do you lift up a piano? You know what I mean? Like, it's a rare thing that you're ever going to lift up. In fact, if you ever needed to lift up a piano, you'd get like equipment and tools and other people to help. But you wouldn't lift up a piano by yourself. Like, people generally don't do that, right? You wouldn't lift up an elephant, you know what I mean? Because it's, I can lift up. We don't really need to do that in our normal today. If you're strong enough to hold up your shopping bags, you're doing fine. You know what I mean? Because we do need strength, right? I ain't saying that. We do need strength. Strength is part of being healthy. And let me stop hitting my microphone so much. Strength is part of being healthy, and getting through your day and being able to do things, to pick things up, to move things around, to do this, do that, da da da. But you don't necessarily need to be so strong that you can lift up 100 kilograms. So you're training your body to do that, and then you go to your job and work as an accountant. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? What are we doing? So I feel like there's a part of us that kind of lets us know that this is kind of pointless for me. I'm not saying it's pointless for everybody, but I do feel like it's pointless for a lot of us. And I think we all feel that. So we go to the gym, we do it for a while, we get that feeling of this is kind of pointless. Maybe we don't recognize that's what it is, but I feel like that's what it is deep down inside. We just recognize that it's kind of pointless, that you don't need to be that strong in your normal life. And as long as you're like being useful, you know, as long as you're just like doing things that need to be done and you're able to do the things that need to be done, and you're able to, you know, do things around your house, do things at your job, do things around your community, do things with your friends, your family, you know, things, as long as you're able to do things, it's like, it becomes like a whole big bag of so what, like, okay, so you got big muscles, everybody's like, oh, you're sexy, and then okay, and then what, you know what I mean? So it's like, why are we doing this? And I feel like for a lot of us we do recognize that, but if it's just about being healthy, just being healthy and being able to live a decently healthy life, you don't need to be no fitness freak, you don't need to go to the gym like 6 times a week, you don't need to do all that. You could just like adjust your diet, be a little bit more active, and you're fine. You'd never have to spend no money. In fact, you might even save money actually. But like a lot of it, like a lot of the you know, going to the, doing all that and all the weights and everything, and running on the treadmill at super fast speeds, and like, what are we doing? Like, how fast do you need to be able to run to catch a bus? You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be an Olympic athlete to be able to, hey, okay, hold up a minute. Like, it's a lot of training for a lot of stuff that we don't use in our real life, you know? So there's a point where it just becomes pointless. You need to have strength, of course, and you need to be able to, you know, move and be flexible and all these things that we need to train. But there's a point where it just becomes, why are we doing it this much? And then it really should be just about maintenance of good health, maintenance of good strength, you know. And once you can do that, once you recognize that, yeah, you really don't need to be in a gym. You don't. You could just do push-ups at home. You'd be fine. You know what I mean? There are plenty of exercises you can do in your house, even with no space, like little to no space, and you'd be fine. Like, there's a lot of stuff you don't need. Now, like I said, I don't believe gyms are pointless. I think there are uses for it, and there are case uses for it, and there are people who do get uses out of it. But most of us, let's be honest, we don't need it. It's kind of pointless. So if your New Year's resolution was to join a gym or to rejoin a gym, don't bother. It's not necessary. You don't really want to do it. You already know you don't want to do it. So just don't bother. Just be healthy, be active, and hopefully, I ain't no damn doctor, but yeah, just be healthy, be active, be healthy, be active, be useful, and you should be fine. All right, peace.